Alright, so let's turn to the Scarlatti.
Have your A when you get
Yes.
a chance in the future. It doesn't have to be right now.
No,
Be
let's
anytime.
just start it now.
No, it's fine.
No,
No, it's
we
really
should match. Alright, so since you can move the garbage for that if you want.
That's alright.
Right.
Permanent.
Since you kind of already figured out how to do vibrato on your own, why don't you tell me how you figured that out? Or what are you doing?
I'm making the notes sound pretty.
Okay. How are you making them sound pretty?
Vibrating slightly back and forth, slower than I do on the viola. I'm trying to make it as wide as possible while still being even.
So, when you're using vibrato, do you control both motions or just one?
Just the back, I think, for me.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Or, wait. No, just going forward, the back just happens.
yeah, for me it's the going forward. But I know a lot of teachers stress going back instead, but I mean it's different for every person. So good, I'm glad you recognize that with yourself. You're gonna be a teacher. Another way to teach vibrato is to have them play a note on a string. Let's say it's this, and have them shift to another note. Have them shift back and forth as fast as they can, so they get used to this motion. The only problem with this is that they get used to doing both motions.
What do you mean?
They get used to going forward and back, moving their hand forward and back. When really, when you do vibrato, you're only controlling one motion. However, it comes in handy when you're shifting. So, doing a shift into vibrato might be a little easier if you learn to do this, because then you can eventually turn it into. And same going back.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice shift.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, where are some of the spots in the Scarlatti that you're adding vibrato in?
Well, definitely second system first measure the ba when it dissipates. I think it's nice there. I'm not really sure what we're doing with the phrasing because we have two very long measures and they're all mezzo forte. So I think it really depends on what we end up doing with the phrasing.
Well, you can phrase with your vibrato as well. You can do vibratos, vibrato, crescendo, and decrescendos. Have you ever done that in viola? So, there are ways that you can make your vibrato fit the tone of your piece more. You've heard of fast, like narrow vibrato and wide vibrato. You can vary the speeds of both of those. Sorry, I'm not talking right. But you can also do vibrato crescendos, where you might start slow and get faster. Or the other way around, where you start fast and get slower.
Yeah, isn't that just you making the bow do that? Right? If you're doing the same bow.
Yeah, but your hand moved a lot faster later on too. Your left hand.
But to make it a crescendo, you need the bow, right? Are you using crescendo in different?
It's a different context, a little bit. When I say vibrato crescendo, I mean that the vibrato is getting bigger.
Gotcha.
So it's getting faster, wider. You choose. You can also have vibrato swells, where your vibrato might start small and narrow, grow to something bigger.
Yeah.
And then the other way around. So you can have hairpins in your vibrato. So you can help use that when you're thinking about the phrasing and those two mezzo forte bars that are very long. Why don't you... Okay, where else can you use vibrato here?
I mean, technically on every note.
Technically, yes. But where are some nice keynotes to use it? You already mentioned the second line.
When you shift into, what do they call, 3-finger position? Da da.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be
Yeah.
nice to change the tone color.
Mm-hmm.
And then build it as we're going up.
Yeah, because what is that line? It's a scale, right? Starting on
D melodic.
A. Yeah. So accenting with, well, adding vibrato to each of those notes is a nice touch. What about the first note of the whole piece?
I mean, yeah, any note you can do vibrato.
And the last note too,
Without a
I
doubt.
think. And second to last measure, that first note. So why don't you try playing this first movement with vibrato and the places that you told me you're going to use vibrato. And think about vibrato, crescendos, decrescendos, wide, narrow, and especially in the second line.
Yeah. God damn it, this instrument's weird. Something is
Nice job. It sounded pretty good.
I feel like this thing got shorter.
It might have
My
just sunk
knee.
into the carpet. Oh, I actually did. I just pushed mine a little bit.
Because I'm hitting my knee like crazy.
Alright, so what do you think about that?
I thought that my rhythm was off. I'm not playing musically. My head's not really in it. That I could have done almost everything better. I had no sense of pulse.
What about some good things?
I finished it instead of just stopping. Which is what I wanted to do, to just do another take. That's good.
Your crescendo was beautiful, as was your vibrato.
Not really. Because I vibrato like 3 times and then I'm like done. I already want to stop.
You're a little sharp. There you go. Let me just point something out though. What is vibrato? What is it musically? What is it for?
to fatten the tone to make it beautiful, like the human voice.
It's an ornamentation. So do you need to use ornamentations on every note?
Definitely not.
No. So don't feel like you have to use it on every note. Yes, you can probably do it. You're capable of doing it on every note. But that's not going to make the piece any more musical. There are ways to use your bow to make it more musical, and there are ways to use your vibrato, left hand, shifts, strings, all different things. So we just talked about a few spots where you could use vibrato. We didn't say, like, do it the whole time. Like, yes, you could do it the whole time, but it's not necessarily the best thing. I was so happy when you mentioned shifting and doing vibrato when you shifted up to 3-finger position because of the color change, and then you didn't do it, and it made me so sad because I was so excited for it. So how about you just do the second line and let me hear beautiful vibrato there. Even on that second one that comes around, and the pick up to the fourth beat.
What measure?
The last measure you just played. Yeah, just like in Bach, you can add in trills and other ornamentations, but that doesn't mean you should all the time. Vibrato's the same way. That sounded pretty good. I liked it. And what I thought was really cool, when you went to the piano, you made it sound mysterious, and it gave it a character. And I think that you thinking of other characters in this will also make it improve greatly. Did you guys went over the second movement, or part of it, right? You want to show me what you got?
Nope.
Nope?
Can practice it.
Then what else do you want to do? We got another 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, I'm being a bad student. I'm so out of it.
It's okay. It's a long day. Tuesdays are bad. But hey, you want to play me a scale?
Sure. Yeah, no. I would be...
I'll even let you pick.
D, I guess.
Okay.
Shouldn't fuck up too badly. 8 and 11, and I only have 5 minutes. My teacher let me go between when the class started.
You were fine. It was just the last 2 notes. Your shifts were really good. They were very smooth, and I saw you.
Very sharp.
No,
On the
actually.
downshifts.
On the downshifts, starting on what string did they start getting sharp? It was when you fumbled on the G string. your first finger before you shifted down was a little flat.
Yeah, I can't play scales on the viola either, so it only makes sense.
Can you show me an arpeggio, and then we'll call it a day?
Sure. Never done D arpeggio. That should be interesting.
Yeah, it's an adventure.
I know I did the wrong fingering.
Yeah, but I know you're wrong because you did it right the first time. You did a good job today.
Thanks,
We'll
bud.
call it quits.
Thanks, bud.